So Martina and Teshya. Now Martina did a lot of wrestling in her first match, going up against an incredibly high decorated wrestler. We will see if that's going to change her strategy.
Right away to the snap down.
Beautiful
to the foot sweep.
wrestling. Right into side control.
Clinical.
Yeah, very, very nice. Trying to clear the space to get that full side control, clear the hips. Martina trying to wedge those knees and elbows in to kind of relieve some of the pressure.
She looks like she finds.
Now she gets the mount. She has a mounted guillotine. This guillotine is locked.
She was hunting that all match.
Martina is trying to pull the hands down, similar to what we saw from her first match against Holly. She looks to have a better angle already than her opening match for that guillotine, but good defense by Martina, not letting her get those hands connected. Mounted Ezekiel attempt. A lot of times you're not even looking for the submission, as more is to get those arms isolated to come up so that you can start isolating for head and arm chokes and back takes. But if you do not respect them, you can definitely tap an opponent with them, especially with the kind of base and pressure. Martina trying to get the elbows back.
Teshya doing a good job staying patient here, staying heavy.
Stepping over, look for a mounted triangle armbar. Looked a little bit like a little loose. She didn't have the best angle for that climb up. She was a little bit square, but not meaning you couldn't get it. But it's gonna be a little bit harder to get that control.
Yeah, she didn't overcommit for it, so she was able to get back to the mount.
She may have just been even bringing that leg up to try to get Martina to open up so that she could create an angle or an opening for another attack. Interesting, she's grabbing her leg. I think she's trying to set up an armbar. An interesting load-up attempt, trying to grab the inside leg of Martina and then go over the top.
Tight mount, using those grapevines here, putting a lot of pressure on Martina. Martina bridging, trying to elbow knee escape as best as she can right now, but Teshya just having
the feet are just too active, the hips are too heavy. Now we may see a back take here. Martina's able to get a half guard back.
Good base here.
Heavy pressure on Martina's head, but still not able to get to that full pass position. Let's see if Teshya can use this.
She's hunting that neck again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a match that, as we go longer, it'll be interesting to see if Teshya tries to change her strategy a little bit. She's using quite a bit of energy looking for these mounted guillotines, and while she's controlling the match, these in a submission-only rule, so you're interested to see if she's going to open up a little bit and try to maybe create some angles for attacks. Because Martina looks, at this point, like she's just trying to hold her in a half guard, not use too much energy, just kind of be relaxed.
And Teshya just really good base on top, just not conceding the top position. not giving Martina really much to work with here. Martina just trying to get her little wedges in, trying to get her right arm to the inside, and we're about halfway through the match so far.
That guillotine is continuing to be what she looks for. And it seems like it's going to be very, very hard to sweep Teshya, so I think Martinez almost has to figure out a guard strategy here to attack, but doesn't seem like an easy task. I have a feeling we may be in this position for all of regulation, or some modified version of half guard mount, side control, with head and arm control from Teshya, and Martinez trying to pummel underhooks and pummel to the half guard.
Yeah, and Teshya just relentless. Martina trying to wrestle up.
Wrestling up is going to be a tough thing to do against Teshya. Again, just consistently, Teshya's been able just to control those shoulders, control those elbows. Even if Martina gets her hips free, she just can't create that rotation to get up or get off.
3 minutes left in regulation here.
Again, it's pretty much been this from the opening takedown of this match. A dominant top position with some nice guillotine and arm lock attempts from the top from Teshya, but nothing really close. Martina just doing a good job surviving. And if I'm in Martina's head, I'm at this point, I feel maybe she's just going to try to stay safe and get to OT.
Yeah, you can't really think too much offensively at this point. She's just trying to conserve energy, not get into a spot where she has to use a lot of energy to try to recover out of a bad submission or a guard.
And you always have to think, coming from a 10th Planet background, that Martina should have some EBI experience.
She finds her half guard back here. Teshya trying to isolate Martina's right arm here, trying to feed the Kimura, maybe even a straight arm lock here. She might have an isolation here. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, she may want to just opt to try to climb that right knee high if she wants to get that submission. Because with the hips back, it's going to be a little harder. But she may have just worn Martina's hips out at this point. She's definitely committing more to that arm lock.
And it looks like definitely a
now she's standing up. That's where she brings the hip up. This is where she's going to be dangerous. With that right knee over, she's now in the ability where she could finish this.
Martina.
We saw Martina get out of a really tight armbar in her first fight.
Beautiful transition to the other armbar there. Wow. Going from one arm to the next.
Really nice attack.
Seamless transition.
Martina's now able to stack. Let's see if she can get that arm free. Now a new Maplata. Metsu toe hold from the bottom. There's the toe hold attack. Martina's able to clear the knee line. We got 1 minute left.
Finds the 50-50. She's
looking for that toe hold. She may have a knee bar option there as well. Martina clears and now up on top.
Short time here, but even despite short time, Martina's still looking to make a statement here, trying to get the pass.
It's a good way to tire an opponent out before overtime with a stack pass, just holding even if you're not going to get the pass.
end of regulation. We are now moving into EBI overtime. And Teshya opting to take the back.
She had 3 overtime rounds in her opening round matchup, so she's been here already today. She's putting in the mat time. And she's been in control of almost all the matches, both her matches. Which not being able to find those regulation submissions. So tight body triangle right away.
Now 3/4 mount, but it's all about the left elbow here. And the left elbow is still in control here.
Really nice job by Teshya to keep that position.
And this is what she did in her first match. She made it really, really tough for her opponent to get that elbow through.
Really good job of Teshya keeping control, keeping that right time going.
Yeah, that left elbow, as you can see the referee very closely looking here. She's still not escaped. For her to escape, she has to completely free her left elbow. This is a lot of ride time here. This is a really good first round by Teshya.
We have to be close to that 2-minute ride time.
Thinking arm triangle here potentially. Her corner calling for the finish here. She's on her side a little bit. Yeah, this is a tight position here, and Martina using a lot of energy, but so is Teshya.
No matter what, Martina will have a chance to go for the submission in the second overtime.
Keep that elbow pulling down towards your shoulder. Don't let her close the station.
This feels like a long 2 minutes. For
Yeah,
the
it
right
does.
time. There we go.
Full 2 minutes of ride time there accumulated by Teshya. So there's 3 overtime periods, each has a top and a bottom, and whoever has either the quicker submission or the longest ride time accumulated over those 3 overtime periods will be the victor.
She decides to go for the arm. Not surprising after all the squeezing she just did.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Martina's corner, Brad Schneider talking her through the right strategy. I agree with Brad completely about checking the hip with the knee arm, not the head. Martina's tight. She goes belly down. Teshya is going to be able to try to explode out. The head's coming inside. The arm is still inside, though. If she elevates her above her hip, her head above her hip, that is an escape.
This is still a lot of pressure here.
And able to get
finds her
out.
way out.
So a huge ride time difference at this point. The ride time is probably going to go to Teshya no matter what, unless there is a submission. With that body triangle set again right away, this could be another long ride. That arm triangle kind of offside back position Teshya's been playing is really giving Martina a lot of trouble. It's making for a really, really tough ride. It's hard to get her hips free because of the body triangle, and it's hard to get her shoulders free because her body is wedged underneath it.
And Teshya just appearing to have just a relentless squeeze. I mean, her other opponent had such a hard time just clearing that elbow. I mean, Teshya's like, she could even come to the mount position, but she does such a good job keeping that elbow from being cleared.
The body triangle is really doing a good job of holding Martina's hips. So I think it's a good strategy to stay at this side, because if your opponent's hips can't turn because of the bite triangle, it's very, very... And she's going to pop back up and stay in the back. So let's see if Martina can actually get the elbow free this time. And there's the escape. So they're asking her to go for armbar again, which I think is the right call again, because time at this point on the ride is going to be very, very tough. One hand has to be on the mat. The ref's trying to set it up.
And again, her left hand really isn't doing a whole lot here. You would think she would want to have
the other way to scoop
the other way, so her right arm could scoop the leg.
Just to prevent what we were just talking about there.
Yeah.
Teshya coming over the head. But her arm's there. Martina needs to connect her arm to her body. Right now, with the leg pulling over her head, there's a big gap between the arm and the body, which makes it a lot easier for Teshya to try to rotate and pull that elbow free.
This looks good for Teshya, but one wrong movement and the arm comes free. Could be it.
Now she's pulling the leg over the head, which I'm not a huge fan of as the arm bar. I want to use the leg over the body to climb more myself, because I don't want the head to be able to sit up. But as I say that, she has a really nice bite. She may have it. She may have the submission. Oh, the elbow snag free. And we have one more overtime. Not surprisingly, she's going to opt for the back again. She's had really good success with control here. So now this is the 6th overtime round on offense of the day for Teshya. She is getting a cardio workout today in these matches. Again, with that bite triangle and her upper body positioning, she just seems like a nightmare to have on your back. We'll see if Martina can change anything in this last overtime period on defense. That body triangle is just preventing the rotation of the hips, and that arm triangle position from the side is just really, really tough to deal with for Martina. It's not really close to a submission, but just nowhere to go. Martina now starting to get free, and she does. So again, she's way behind on the ride. She's going to need a submission in this third round. So I'm assuming we're going to go for the armbar again. And that's what it looks like they are going to pick. Martina going to be on the arm, so she needs a submission or a full 2-minute ride time at this point pretty much to get it. I don't even know if the full 2 minutes would do it. They're getting their arms set. All the way back roll through. See if Martina can isolate that arm. Now the knee over the foot to try to peel the arms. Very good idea. And then we're back to start. Really tight arm lock position. Twisting and turning for Teshya. She steps over the head. This is good for Teshya. She pulls out. Let's see if she can go with the arm free. And she does. And that will be a win on ride time. We're going to just get this time set, but it has to be pretty clear that there is that advantage there. And we're moving on to the opposite side of our women's bracket.